please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
For any extended amount of time. For pet owners worried about pets escaping or attacking a stranger that shows up in their home, Amazon tells us that the courier will look out for any sign of pets, and if a safe delivery can't be made, he or she will leave it outside, just like the old days. Now, the price of the camera is $120, and that is lower than similar devices. Trichler said they're focused on how they can get the product into people's hands. The idea being, guys, that more people spend money within the Amazon ecosystem once they have those devices.
Now, with the battle for home delivery heating up, what company is best positioned to take advantage? Let's bring in Ed Lee, Recode Managing Editor. Ed, great to have you with us. Walmart offers something sort of similar where they actually bring stuff into your house. They actually unpack the stuff, too. Put groceries in the refrigerator, for instance. Do we care who's in the lead on this? I mean, do you think is this going to be the next big thing?
I think it's going to be a niche service to start out, at least anyway. But I think it is an important thing to own because the way e-commerce is going right now, it's all about sort of speeding up the delivery mechanism or sort of, taking friction out of delivery mechanism. That's what's going to get people to shop more. And as more people shop online, the easier the way you get it is the thing that you're going to choose. So, of course, Amazon's making that bet. Walmart's already started to do that as well. It's going to be an important thing. It'll start out small, but over time, it'll just get more sophisticated and people will get used to it.
What I thought was more interesting was sort of the security potential aspect of it, that you can actually get a subscription. You can buy more storage where you can actually save more footage. It can record human movement. Is this sort of Amazon's foray really into a smart home?
So as the whole smart home market is really taking off. Certainly Google's in it. Amazon, of course, with the Echo, they've already started doing that. I think the real play here is, as I said earlier, just a way to get you to buy more stuff. I saw someone tweet something really funny where it's like, oh, we're all just living in Amazon's warehouse. We're just paying them rent. Getting people in, using, it's all glib, but it's sort of interesting. The other part of this whole kind of mechanism is I wouldn't be surprised if down the line you see, you can return stuff this way as well. In other words, you would schedule a pickup in your home. Someone would come in, unlock your door and get your package and take it away.
I want somebody to come in and repack it and put the label on it and then take it away. I mean, that's for me. That's
in fact, you might
step.
not even have to do that at all. You just sort of leave it in your front, in your front doorway. Just take it all away without the packaging. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Don't you think Melissa may have a point though? Companies like Canary, which have really done well in terms of selling their cameras and working as a home security system, this could morph into a home security system.
And it's entirely possible that people buy it just for that purpose and not necessarily, for the having people deliver things to you.
I'm not saying maybe not now, but is there mission creep here, so to speak, eventually?
So Amazon's sort of foray into building hardware has sort of always been hit or miss. I mean, Echo and the Kindle have been real big hits, but the Fire Phone and the Fire TV haven't really sort of landed. So I think, this is, again, it's just another experiment. Amazon can take these big swings because it's Amazon. Again, I don't think it's about selling the hardware. I think it's really just about trying to get stuff to you faster.
All right. Ed, thanks. Ed Lee, Recode.
Well, we told you earlier that since Chipotle's all-time high back on August 5th, 2015, only 2 stocks in the entire S&P 500 have done worse than Chipotle. Here are the charts. Who are they? Here's a hint. They're both in apparel, kind of. We'll tell you the names coming up. And also at the top of the hour, do not miss an exclusive interview with Greenlight Capital's David Einhorn. It's at 3 o'clock Eastern right here on CNBC. More Power Lunch right after this.
Class. Speed. Raw power. Max torque. Get ready for an unmatched automotive experience. Servo presents Overdrive.
Overdrive, presented by Servo, world-class lubricants from Indian Oil.
What is money? How much money should a nation create? Who benefits from too much money? And who benefits from too little? How much should money cost? Who should allocate money? And on what values? Every week, we seek answers to these questions with the best minds. Indianomics, the only show that questions the politics of economics.
What's hot and what's not? Buy in or sell out?
We keep track of all the market movements, so you cut to the chase and make the right call.
Post your queries on moneycontrol.com or SMS 51818.
Our experts will help you customize your stock portfolio and plan your investment strategies.
Your stocks at these times. Only on CNBC TV 18.
Brought to you by magicbricks.com and Renault Capture.
The truth is never simple, but dig for truth we must, especially when it comes to our cities and our lives. Join me every week as I thrash out the big urban issues and all the noise surrounding real estate. From traffic nightmares to metro connectivity, from affordable homes to smart cities.
The Urban Reality with Manisha Natarajan. At these times, only on CNBC TV 18. They're India's wealthiest, the most elusive class. They're only 1% of 1.32 billion Indians. And they hold 58% of the country's total wealth. You know them, and yet you don't. They are India's elusive A-class. We took a look inside their minds in a first-of-its-kind study, the Affluent India Media Consumption Survey, powered by Cogent USA, conducted by Market Strategies International. Through 7 months of exhaustive research, 500 hours worth of response data with nearly 1,300 affluent Indians, and found out how they consume business news, what they watch, what they choose. Over 70% of them chose CNBC TV 18 amongst their topmost choices. For the quickest to break news, the best stock recommendations, the best analysis, the best research team, and the most credible anchors across all 8 parameters. 98% of affluent investors watch CNBC TV 18, the channel of choice for affluent India. This is TV 18, and you're watching CNBC TV 18.
Guys, perhaps, on what this is going to be. This is, I mean, it's a consumer stock. We talk about it quite a bit on this network overall.
It's a retailer.
Crickets.
Probably. I don't know.
Well, I know the answer because I'm doing the next segment, which is based on this. So
there you go, yes.
I can pretend I don't know. Oh, Professor Chu, I know. Call on me.
There you go. I'll call on you, Brian.
That's my Melissa impression. It's cool.
It is. Let's show you what it is. This is retailer Macy's. Yes, one of the worst performers. And again, if you take a look at the next one here, this mystery chart, also another stock that's retail oriented as well. This particular stock down 70% in that time that Chipotle was down. This is, of course, what's going to happen with Under Armour shares as well. So a couple stocks that have done worse than Chipotle during that time frame, guys. Back over to you.
Awesome stuff as always, Dom. Thank you very much. So the question is, are any of those beaten down names of value in discount clothing? Or are they cheap for a reason? Rich Ross, Evercore ISI, Mark Tepper, Strategic Wealth Partners. Mark, would you buy Under Armour, Macy's, or Chipotle? Or do you already own any of them?
No, none of these look good at all.
No, neither. You don't own them, and you ain't buying them.
Correct.
How
yeah,
come?
Chipotle and Under Armour are just way too expensive. They're trading at like 40 times forward earnings. So they're priced like growth stocks, but the problem is they don't grow. So Chipotle just got way too big too fast, and now they need to slow down expansion, and consumers are actually realizing that the food isn't all that healthy. And then Under Armour's biggest growth prospect comes from their footwear line, and that's not doing well because they're not doing a good job outside of basketball. So really struggling there.
All right, so there you go. Rich Ross, when you look at the charts, Mark fundamentally is staying away. Is there any chart that looks attractive enough to you?
Yes, on the short side, Brian, I would say that Chipotle looks extremely attractive. This is a stock that's in grave danger. If you bring up the weekly chart, it actually looks like the chart of CMGI from 2002, which is not a compliment. What you're staring at here is a stock that is broken structurally and clearly in the short term, down 15% today. Look at those long-term weekly moving averages, Brian. They crossed to the upside back in 2009, 2010, and that gave you a very nice buy signal clearly really from 70 to 700. And then after a 6-year run, we break below the 200 week. The 50 crosses below the 200, and we've shed about 50% of our value since then. I think the stock goes to 235 in the short term, and there is potential downside into the low hundreds, if you will. So once again, that's sort of the definition of grave danger, and I would be a seller of the stock.
All right, nobody buying any of these things. All right, thanks, guys. For more Trading Nation, go to tradingnation.com.